Greetings and good morning, each and every one of you. Thank you for being here for the 6-Minute Daily. That's right, the 6-Minute Daily, a weekday program, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. We start promptly on time, Pacific time, each and every time at 7:45 a.m. Sometimes we're a little early, sometimes we're a little late, but today we were right on time. We got lots going on. We got lots to be thankful for, including 5 Culture Casino memberships from the amazing Tony Piacente, who drops those on, 5 of you lucky folks. Last night we had a watch party. We watched Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it was a little earlier than normal. I accidentally did that, but it was good because I got a chance to sleep, which I don't get to do very much anymore. But I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, do check out the memberships. They are fun to have. Let's say thank you to Juliet, who has been working tirelessly the last several days as we had a few of our wrenches out. I want to say thank you to Ms. Pitt Cafe for her return, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here early today. We've got Jill out there working tirelessly as well, making sure you are wrenched up on multiple platforms, so thank you for that, Jill. And the amazing Snortopoopas Q Burr is here, our favorite polar bar. We've got Putin's cat out there making great stuff. Got a little update on something this morning I need to go check out. We got Barry the Music Man here as well. And Crouching Tiger Hidden Swift is in the house, or Crouching Taylor. I always screw that up. Anyway, thank you, Matt G, for that. We've got, let's see, some staggeringly wonderful news with all these people here, like Walter Tomaszewski, who is here. I did not need this news, but I did get that news a little bit earlier this morning. Kind of a tragedy. So absolutely horrible. That is not something you want to share with children. So yeah, let's stay far away from that story. Morgan King's in the house. Good to see you. We got Cat Slave out there as well. And a few other folks have popped in, like Just a Dutchie. Good morning, Culturians, indeed. We've got... let's see, Crazy White Boy over there on the green machine, along with Caveat Ties, Dr. Jill, Tobach, and many more. Let's see, we've got a few other folks that rolled through the door. I'm not sure if Sean's here yet, but I'm sure he will be, along with many, many others. Let's see. There's Chef Eddie. Good morning, Chef Eddie. Hope you're doing well today. Happy birthday. It's still not my birthday. My birthday month starts in November. So my birthday month is November. So if you want to celebrate November as my birthday, well, I won't argue. I will say thank you. You guys are insane. Thank you for being here, William Schweikert, and many others. I love this idea that it's phantomly my birthday every day. Griffin's View gives us today's news for October 15, 1951. For the first time, Lucy had some splendid to do. I love Lucy. Starring Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, debuted on CBS, launching an icon, Babalu. That's right, amazing. You should go back and watch those. They will fill your spirit with hope. Davina, good morning, dear. Let's get to it, because 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are, whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6-Minute Daily. We have a lot of time. Well, we have a little time. We have lots of stories, little time. I don't remember what I say, but what I do know is that, this is going to be a bonus time day because it's Wednesday. But we'll start here, of course. Major broadcasting networks Fox and CNN issue a joint statement. Those are two unlikely bedfellows. Declining to sign on to more restrictive Pentagon press policy, because if they want to, give away secret information, they will. Yeah, this is a weird look for news agencies. We'll see how this works out at the end of the day. It's quite possible that they won't be at the news briefings. And I have a feeling that Hegseth's going to tighten it up, whether they want it or not. We've got Hollywood script readers fearing they could be replaced by AI. And I have an argument that they should. As much as I like most people that are in the movie business, not, of course, their belief system, but I have to tell you that the people that are greenlighting scripts aren't the executives anymore. It's the readers. The readers hand up only select scripts that they think will serve their activist needs. And that's why we've been getting such garbage films and television. And if an AI did it, you could tell it to ignore the neo-Marxism that's built into almost every script these days. I think that would be better. What about you? We've got nobody asking for Jared Leto. I certainly wasn't. And nobody was asking for this reboot of Tron. And it shows in the numbers. We are starting to see just how colossally terrible Disney performs in cinema nowadays. And the very reason is maybe one of the things we just covered, the script readers. But beyond that, Jared Leto, I don't think has ever been a leading man. He's been a cult leader, but I don't think a leading man. And I think that Hollywood's just waking up to this. One of the weirdest things about the Tron failure is that it was so easy to make a winner, and they absolutely avoided that at all costs. Once again, politics and activism ruins Hollywood. We've got our friend here saying, don't treat it as a launching pad, treat it as the end game. At least that's Jimmy Fallon's advice when it comes to Saturday Night Live in the UK. And I think that I think you meant to say it's a means to an end for him anyway. He went on to take a show he didn't deserve and do, well, okay with it for a little while and not so much anymore. CBS News staffers won't be disciplined for not responding to Barry Weiss's memo, union says. Well, why does the union have any say here at all? This is a brand new age for CBS News, and it has a brand new leader. And if they already can't be held accountable for not, listening to the new leader, they shouldn't have a job. I'm sick and tired of this era in TV news, and I think you are too. This was supposed to be a fresh direction. It's not. We've got Cheryl Hines battling with The View's Sonny Houston, and, well, all of them basically, because they're all terrible people, about her husband, RFK, being Secretary of Health. And she was basically cut off like anybody that's going to be on the right side of the equation. And I have to tell you, The View is just worse than pure trash. It's burning pure trash, and it should be hopefully out of fire by the end of this year. Christopher Nolan lavishes praise on Dwayne Johnson because, well, he's going to make a terrible Odysseus film coming out soon. And he's made casting blunders as well. Again, The Rock is not a serious actor, and nobody should pretend that he is. LA production activity is dropped below 2023 strikes, led by a sharp drop in reality TV. And my question is, why do we care? LA has poisoned itself for so long. Let's see what happens when the results of that poison are fully realized. We've got evil AI being boring now. Thank you, Jared Leto. Which is kind of scary. It's not scary. We've seen the results of AI in many films, but we're seeing it in real life now, and it's not pleasant. And for the people in Hollywood, well, it's taking your jobs, unfortunately. Federal workers endure financial strain and fear layoffs. Well, I wouldn't fear the layoffs. I mean, reduction in force was always part of the end game on this stupid shutdown of Schumer's. Chuck is to blame, and I think people are realizing that. We've got the government shutdown putting renewed spotlight on, a terrible aviation system that has been covered up and poorly managed since the DEI era of Biden. We've got a slowdown in the U.S. economy, or at least as far as hiring goes, and Powell says, hey, maybe we should cut stuff. Yeah, should have done that months and months ago. We've got Wall Street on the ups. That's good. Lots of things are rising on tech and banking industry suggestions. You've got group including NVIDIA, BlackRock buying Aligned Data Centers in a deal with about $40 billion, so they can steal more of your personal information and sell it to more people. And, well, try to control you, which is the whole goal anyway. OpenAI partners with Walmart. That's bad news for shoppers. Not only can you buy things through ChatGPT, but you're also being gathered on your preferences in a new way. Direct purchases. You've got CVS polishing off a deal that allows them to acquire Rite Aid stores, and they'll get their prescription files as well. And finally, our bear story of the day, a KTLA news anchor finds somebody behind them about to have lunch. That's right. If you check out here, there's a bear. That's right. It's time to go shopping at the neighborhood garbage can. Folks, secure your trash in recycle bins, or you may have a different kind of prowler. Anyway, the bear helps himself to the garbage cans, and, a morning shopping spree is had. You can find that story over on KTLA 5 in Los Angeles, and watch this bear just absolutely destroy the contents of a garbage can. Good times. Good times can be had. by all. Welcome to bonus time, everybody. And bears are amazing creatures, but they will also eat your face. So be bear aware. This is the time of year that they're getting all stocked up on food stores in their system, eating approximately 10 to 22,000 calories a day, depending upon the species. And you can be some of those calories, so try not to be. Then they're going to go to bed, and you'll have a winter break from bears, but they usually wake up ravenously hungry as well. So just be bear aware if you're in an area where there are bears. And California is, got more bears. The bears have returned, and a lot of bad animal wildlife management is being done across the country, especially California, and a lot of terrible forest management is being practiced, especially in California. Why is it that California sucks at so many things? I don't understand. Maybe that's just me, though. Maybe I'm wrong. But I thought you would appreciate today's bear story, so thanks for being here. We've got, the mighty Orbots in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Bonus time. That's right. King of the Monsters, 1954. Got here. There you go. A lot of people got here late. I think I'm going to go back to sending the X notifications earlier, along with the other socials that I use. If you think there should be more people here, like I do, go ahead and share the stream, share the dream. It's helpful. People get to discover new content, and mostly me, which I appreciate. Helena J says, we'll see bears if it's not super cold all winter. That's crazy because they don't go to sleep, huh? That's bad. That's right. Respect the bears is totally true. Your life does indeed depend on it. Does indeed. Caradwin. Does indeed. Terry Rose is here. Great to see you, my friend. And hey, look, Roy is here. Yogi. Hey, Yogi. Loves picnic baskets. That's right. Hey, boo boo. All right. But Yogi. Anyway, doesn't matter. What else do we have to cover? Well, we have to cover Melties. Melties are one of the things we cover here now. Right now, it's a Melty on CNN, or a projected Melty, a future Melty, or a current Melty. Don't know. Let's take a look at this. I think you'll like it. After these messages, we'll be right back. Oh, and I have to change the Sherry thing. No, I like Sherry. Don't misunderstand that. Sherry, baby. All right. Let's take a look at some bonus time content with this guy from CNN. That's right. The most untrusted name in news has at least 3 voices that are worth listening to, and this guy's one of them. He's paying attenzione. So let's get to it. Here we go. Watch again.
2018, right? Because that's sort of the baseline. That was, of course, the first Trump term. That was where Democrats were sort of keeping pace. You go back to April, look at the generic congressional ballot. What you see? You see +3 Democrats in 2025 in April. You see +3 Democrats back in April of 2017. Now jump over to this side of the screen. What happens? Well, the Democrats are no longer keeping pace with the pace that they were setting back in 2017, 2018. You look back in 2017, you saw that the Democrats had leaped up to an 8-point advantage. I remember covering this. I remember a lot of folks, including myself, saying, you know what, Republicans look pretty decent right now in terms of the fact that they had the House, they had the Senate, they had the presidency, but things were likely going to flip. And I was looking for the same signs this year. The bottom line is it hasn't happened, Kate Baldwin. It hasn't happened. Democrats have stayed basically steady. They have fallen off the pace. Democrats were way out ahead back in 2017 on the generic congressional ballot. And now we're basically looking at Democrats ahead. But again, they are so far in back of the pace that they set back.
We already know
that
so that number is bologna sausage.
Folks like myself are saying, wait a minute, given what we might be seeing in redistricting, is this +3 going to be enough, Kate Baldwin?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. One change from that cycle is also this mid-decade redistricting effort that we've been covering so much. You add that in, and what do you get?
Okay, so we add that, and we take a look at the national picture, but then we, of course, taking a look at the state legislators, right? They are potentially changing things, and there are 2 things that are going on here. First off, net mid-decade redistricting gains. If both sides max out at this point, there are more Republican gains possible than Democratic gains. Yes, the Democrats might try to counter a Texas and a California, but you go along in the different states and basically Democrats run out of room where Republicans are able to gain and gain and gain. If both sides max out, we're probably looking at a GOP gain of +7 House seats. That doesn't even take into account the potential gutting of the VRA that is right now going to be in front of the Supreme Court.
Now, these are partisans that are covering the news. And let me just say, the VRA, the Voting Rights Act, was incredibly DEI. It was, and I think that that's in the court as of today, guys. It's in front of the justices for argument, is the VRA and how race imbalanced it is. It makes preferential race selections favoring various groups. So it's quite possible that'll flip 19 seats because the other districts are racist.
If you add that in, you could be
the
looking.
Voting Rights Act.
What? Yes,
Voting
exactly
Rights.
right. The Voting Rights Act. If you add that in, then you could be looking about adding 10, 12, 15, 17 on top of this 7 seats. So I think a lot of folks like myself are looking at this. We're seeing, hey, wait a minute. Those national polls Democrats are not gaining the way that we expected.
Yeah. And +19. So we were already +7 after we finish out this round of redistricting. But that could add, after a decision from the Supreme Court, which I think is going to be favorable, is going to add 19 more seats. Or lose 19 seats from the Democrat side. It's going to be interesting. So anyway, thought I would share that with you. If you were feeling a little down because you looked at some polls that made you feel a little down, well, there you go. Let's see. We got a lot of people out here today. Commander Canadian Spider-Man is out there. The other commander is here. Commander Ed Straker of Shadow. Plus, we've got Captain Phantom Nerd out there. There's Ms. Pick Cafe, returned from her trip. Pretty wild stuff, guys. Pretty wild indeed. Toback is out there. Mostly I went to Lake Timothy. Yeah, Lake Timothy. I used to have a nice lake by my cabin, but that was drained. Some, green nonsense about 2 decades ago. Everything that Al Gore warned us about is baloney sausage. Yeah. I mean, maybe he invented the internet, but pretty sure that was the university system in collaboration with the U.S. military. In fact, technically, the U.S. should still own basically all of the internet. I think we should remember that. Yeah, well, maybe they have a deal with Mick Cafe, or I don't even know what that was, what kind of paper coffee cup that was, but yeah, pretty crazy. Hey, there's Stone Cold Loki. Love that guy. It's going to be worse than they are reporting. I know that, Stone Cold Loki. I know that. And this is the problem with fake news, right? Fox joined forces with the bad guys at CNN. I'm going to tell you right now, if you can get news coverage, but you have to agree to the rules. The same thing happens in the press corps that covers the president. AP found that out. You're not going to come in the Oval Office for a press conference. If the president does one in there, you are not invited. You're flat out fake news. And that's the problem, right? I mean, for news outlets that are quote unquote acceptable to YouTube and some other social platforms, I use the AP because I can't get in trouble. I'm reporting the news from the AP, right? So, that's an authoritative source. The problem is authoritative source is always full of baloney sausage. And the president calls them fake news. ABC, I don't think Trump's ever going to answer another question from ABC. I mean, he kind of made that clear. If you watched yesterday's Thank You for Your Attention to This Matter podcast, which is on Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons, I think you're going to find that out. Pretty soon, I'm going to be doing that 5 days a week. I want to say thank you to a rate specialist who provided a piece of humor at the end of yesterday's stream. That actual stream I just mentioned. So thank you for that. If they do another census counting only citizens, imagine how many seats Democrats will lose. Hundreds. Okay, maybe not that many, but a lot. California especially. California was overcounted because they didn't actually count people. They used a very secretive algorithm that was just exposed in the last 2 weeks. So you can go look up news on that. I want to say a special shout out and thank you to Ruby Who for gifting a Culture Casino membership. That's right. We are on the path to 1,000 members on this channel. We've been there before. Let's get there again. For the price of a cup of coffee each, you can get your friends here on the chat a membership by gifting memberships. So, and I do appreciate that. For those of you on the green machine, our friend Weatherman doesn't seem to be here, but he's usually terribly generous and gifts away memberships over there, which I also appreciate. You guys are great. Look at all these great people out there in the chat. This is fantastic. Let's see. Brian, good morning. Brian Parker says, I was hoping to surf in Ohio, but he fibbed. He did. Al Gore fibbed. Lots of people fibbed. Even Spock lied to us. Spock said, when I was just a lad, barely conscious of the world around me, he went on a program that, well, was provided by public broadcasting, so you knew it was mostly garbage. But was it Nova? Yeah. Anyway, he went on there and told everybody we were headed into an ice age and that most of North America could be consumed. How'd that work out? You realize we had more CO2 in the air way back when, and most of the planet green? Don't listen to these knuckleheads. Most of their stuff is built on fake models, built for a purpose. You're starting to see a lot of European countries wake up to the fact that they've been held hostage by a green movement that was largely founded on bologna sausage, and the globalists trying to push their country in the wrong direction. Good news is the Netherlands is going to push out like 80,000 Syrians plus. You're seeing a lot of nations wake up. We're doing a separate deal with Italy than with the WEF-controlled EU. The EU is losing relevancy because they decided or tried to expand beyond a trade union. And the minute you do that, you know it's a global power grab, which is exactly what was happening. We got our good friend here, Joseph A., for 2 Culture Casino cash. Good to see you here, Joseph. And Joseph says, I'm trying to find it. I got to come back to that one. There it is. Chris Gore is greater than Al Gore. Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. This is 100%, 1,000%, 1,000,000% true. Speaking of true things, one of the kindest, most tender people on the planet is Tender Warrior 68, dropping, wow, 10 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you for that. Much appreciated, Tender Warrior. All of a sudden, I feel like my pal Drunk 3PO. You guys know him as Jay. And Jay had a nice little run after he got his first bunch of gifties this morning. He had lots of people dropping some gifties, but I want to say a special thank you and shout out to Tender Warrior. And honestly, the only way to do that effectively is to honor everybody and say, hey, thanks for the cheddar. Seriously.
Oh, man, that's some sweet cheddar. Guys.
And that was very kind. Thank you, Tender Warrior. And thanks to all of you who've contributed to the show today. You are keeping the wheels on, almost literally. Anyway, I saw Kip Ellis out there get a gifty, thanks to Tender Warrior. And I see Drunk 3PO. Hello, L. Yeah. Jay's great. Love that guy. I love his morning show. Between him and what happened to Charlie Kirk, it inspired me for the thank you for your attention to this matter of the podcast. So lots of inspirations for that show. All good. All good. Askey's here says, man, as hot as it gets around here, I just about wish for an ice age. Well, there you go. Luke showed up today. You can holler at Luke if you'd like. And again, thank you, Joseph A., for your super duper chat. That's right. Karadwin says, yes, our carbon tax was a great example. Well, you know, Canada has succumbed to a great many liberal, progressive, wackaloon, leftist like conspiracy theories and made laws around it that have taken away your power in 1,000 different ways. You could be one of the world's leading economies with the amount of natural resources you have. And by the way, those specialty metals that everybody is whining at China about right now, Canada has those. Yeah, they do. So does Greenland, by the way. There are a lot of places we could go that are not China to get those things. And as we move forward into sodium battery technology, we may not be talking about some of this other stuff. Despite the great gains that the CATL batteries have made recently, with a different set of medium interior and electrolytes that actually, electrodes that actually make things happen. I think you're going to see sodium ion batteries more and more frequently, thus reducing the cost and the need to buy into some of these metals. It is what it is. The lovely Ruby Hoove dropped a super duper chat. Thank you, dear, saying, everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you for that. Let's see. I think the beautiful Deep will drop something over there on the green machine. In fact, I'm correct. This is from the Deeple saying, Dad's surgery today is over and uneventful. Thanks for the positive energy from everybody. You bet, friend. And I'm still going to be sending the vibes plus my prayers to you and your father, because you got to get past it all, and as quickly as possible. So I'm glad the lovely Dragon Queen is here. Good to see you, dear. I'm praying for you as well. So thanks for being here. Did Drunk die? No. Why? What? No. Drunk 3PO is great. He apparently had a problem with somebody in the chat, Ben from Benography, and it wasn't really there. It was fake. Canadian Spider-Man. That's not what I was saying. Stifled. Canadians are stifled. I'll give you that. Some, not all. Just leave it to a Canadian just beat up on Canada. We're in a great place, kids. We really are. Yeah. Wow. Oh boy. All right. Let's talk a little bit about something that if you've been following me, WDW Pro, Valiant Renegade, That Park Place, Clownfish, Smash JT, Nerdrotic, Yellow Flash. I mean, there's a list. Midnight's Edge After Dark. I mean, it's like, if you've been following any of us in the fellowship, any of us indeed, you know this next story probably fairly intimately. You see, Disney took over a bunch of IPs that they didn't deserve, that they were only able to get because they had the cash. And then, like everything, and I think this was established by Script Doctor, when Disney buys something, it has about 10 more years of life left. In other words, Disney is the Grim Reaper when it comes to IPs. And I'm going to say this. That's true because modern Disney has no honor. They only have ideology. And that ideology right now is twisted so far to the left that they are shaking hands with the CCP, quite literally. Worse off, they make the products that these IPs like developed over time worthless. And that's despite spending extraordinary sums of money on the things they try to make. An example being Tron, which is something that they owned originally, all the way back from '82, that had a certain kind of quality and not a huge financial success. Immediately was a, what do you call it, cult classic. The second film came along and satisfied many people. Their opening day way back then was 44 million. They couldn't even manage that here in North America this time around with Tron Arse. And it opened to, oh, wait, that's Ares. Sorry, I apologize. It opened up to 33.5 million in North America. See, Disney destroys things. That's their reputation now. So, of course, everybody here knows they destroyed Star Wars. And they did it in epic fashion because if you take a look at the fact that Star Wars, the rinse of soybeans, Soy Walker, Palpatine, the rise of Palpatine, the age of Palpatine. It actually, after all of the money is counted in what it took to produce this in the UK, the cost is nearly $600 million. Thank you, Caroline Reed, for having the patience to wait lots of years to get the actual numbers. And that's the problem, right? We know Snow White is the biggest flop and failure Disney will have this decade. But last decade, believe it or not, this thing flopped. This barely earned over $1 billion. If it weren't for the last 2 weeks of box office, this thing is toast. And in fact, Perry kind of nails it here. Star Wars is dead. I've been saying Star Wars is dead for 6 years now. 5 years that I've been on YouTube. And I was right. Everything that went on after this was an even bigger failure. It's just, whether it was a film effort or a television program. And look, I know a lot of you like the first season of Mandalorian and Grogu, or I guess was technically Mandalorian. But the little green puppet got less and less appealing as time went on. And, I was glad it was going to be gone, but they brought it back. And now we're going to have a film that's going to suck. Regardless, they spent nearly $600 million making it one of the most expensive movies ever. That's not it. If you take that number and you want this film to make money, it had to make over $1.8 billion. Where's the other $800 million that this needed to earn in order to be a success? You think they sold any more Grogus or Rolly robots, BB-8s or anything like that because of this movie? No. Did they sell any more, pretend Darth Vaders? No. Did they sell more Finns? Rose Ticos, or any Disney Daisy Ridley related gear? No. Because even then, as far as the marketing items go, people were already tired of them. They were just waiting for the end of what was going to be the third Disney trilogy and the least effective. What's worse is, if you think about it, this is the last movie in a 3-movie run. And the earnings went really, really, really good. Not quite as good to terrible. They spent more progressively on each film and progressively made less money. I'm going to say this was a failure. I'm almost close to say it was a flop, because when you find out in arrears that this thing made no money, it's even more disappointing. This woman, while I have no problems with Daisy Ridley, didn't make anything of Star Wars. She didn't make anything of herself with Star Wars. She doesn't drive viewers to the box office. She failed at being a window cleaner. She failed at being a swimmer. And she failed at trying to pretend not to quite want to mimic a Jedi. That's a lot of caveats there. Anyway, a staggering new report from Forbes. Disney officially revealed that Star Wars: The Rise of Soy Walker, The Rinse of Soybeans, the Palpatine Dynasty, cost $593.7 million to produce. There is no other way to look at this movie other than a catastrophic failure. Even at 2.5 times that amount, it's so far away from even breaking even, it's dumb. And you know what? Marvin was not savage enough on this title. We need to be more savagely honest with what's a win and what's a loss. At Disney, huge loss. Kathleen Kennedy destroyed a generational IP. There are very few of those guys. Generational IP used to be solely like a Disney thing. Like the Disney princesses, they created generational IPs. Everybody wanted to see the animated film every 5 years. Everybody wanted to have a chance to buy it every decade. There used to be a flywheel. That's not bologna sausage. It just used to be the synergy that Disney operated with. But because they are no longer integrated with proper leadership, they no longer execute. Catslave says the sad thing about Disney Star Wars is that you could go to any college campus in the U.S. and find 4 or 5 geeks who could have written better scripts in half an hour. Indeed. Longest Parsec says, highly disappointed. I am too. And look, for what it's worth, part of my channel has always been, talking about the theme parks and the films and everything associated with Disney and the other entertainment, both physical and virtual, in the sphere. And how can I talk about entertainment every single day, 12 hours a day, when there's virtually nothing entertaining available anymore? It's really hard to do. So we're going to mix in some of the other interests that I have, and that will include, if you're a member, getting a chance to see how the beans have grown over the course of about 3 weeks on a couple of the trellises. So I might share some pictures and do some voiceover to talk about, fall planting and why it's so important and how you get, year-round vegetables that, you enjoy. We'll do that on another thing in another way. But, if you're a member, there's benefits to it. $600 million. $600 million. While many assumed that the Rise of Skywalker went dramatically over budget due to its rushed production and controversial reshoots, which I talked about, the filings tell a different story. According to the documents, the movie was in line with the budget by the end of principal photography early in 2019 and ultimately came in below the expected cost by year's end. How? I guess editor Marianne Brandon provided the answer during an appearance on the Rough Cut podcast. She revealed that the post-production schedule was accelerated, shaving 3 months off the normal editing timeline. The decision came from Disney leadership, who insisted the film meet its December 2019 release date, no matter what. Yeah, because they knew that 2020 was going to be a hot mess and or disaster, or both. I mean, you would think Bob Iger would get a heads up from the CCP what was about to happen. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, delaying it would have meant that they would have had 3 additional months of labor and post-production expenses. So director J.J. Abrams added another clue when he told Entertainment Weekly that the movie required fewer reshoots than the And I'm not sure what's going on here, but I just lost access to stuff. Hopefully that was a brief interruption for you guys. I'm just going to say somebody doesn't like me. That was weird. I hope you guys are back. I didn't do that. It just all of a sudden went, nerp. Yeah. Anyway, I kept highly disappointed up here for a long time because Star Wars is highly disappointing. I don't know what that was. I was under attack. Oh no, we lost R2. Oh, CC. Anyway. I'm being hacked. I don't know about that. I have the gigabit Ethernet or internet. I should not have any of these issues. I do not know what's going on. All right, Asky, have a fun time at work. Brian and Cindy, it's good to see you. My 40-year-old nephew, hang on, used to live and breathe Star Wars. Not anymore. And that's a huge problem. Look, you can understand. Kathleen Kennedy called me out years ago saying she didn't want my type. Seriously, I do not know what's going on, folks. So we're gonna maybe draw the stream to a close early. But I don't know what's going on. So I have bulletproof internet, so I don't know what's going on there, and I don't know what else to say. It keeps telling me resources, so it's quite possible Chef Eddie could be right. It's Disney and the neo-Marxists that are after me. It's true. They don't like me very much. I don't know what's going on. I you know what? I should blame Dude Bro Seth. Yeah. But that's wild. Yeah, I'm getting smashed. I'm watching resource maps go. So I'm gonna go find out what's going on, and then maybe reset my firewall. This is crazy stuff. KK doesn't like to be badmouth. That's what it is. Anyway, with that being said, thank you all so very much for your participation in today's show. I want to say a special shout out to everybody who gave some gifties, because you are so beautiful to me. True story. And thank you to Tony Piacente, who really does kind of like rule the gifting category right now. So special shout out and thank you. But I appreciate each and every one of you when you're here each and every day. So on the way out the door, let's see if Wilton can finally successfully throw me off the roof. Let's see. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. For real.
Why, hello there, random citizen.
Oh, hey there, little buddy. How's it going?
Have you subscribed to CultureCasino yet?
Well, no.
Friggin' A.
Oh!
These guys, I tell ya.
Oh!
Dang it, I missed. Why won't these guys just subscribe already?
That hurt.